about people who are Tinder or don't use it. Honest opinion. Honest to God right here. The closest to a dating app that I've used and actually like used is will be Instagram DMs. And that's because I have an Instagram account. So it like I just had one personally. So it was like right there. I'm already following women. Over the years I've used it to get women. Snapchat I used to use a lot, and only 1 year my too free, bro. I can't even tell y'all like Snapchat is just too free. But I'm gonna be honest. All like literally, if I could make a percentage, 99.6 or 99.5 of my experience is just in person, bro, in real life, and I benefit so much so from that. So that's why I teach that shit, dude. You ask me, if you don't got it in real life, don't use dating apps. Like if you are not able to approach a woman, introduce yourself, if you're not comfortable going on a date or having her over your career, like if you ain't get that, to me it's like pointless to use a dating app because all you're going to do is get them from a dating app or struggle to get them there because you haven't fixed the core issue. You're going to struggle to get them there. Let's say you do get some. Then when it's time, F with TV, I appreciate to get this up. Chat, no matter how you put it, it comes back to IRL. Because when you get a woman from a dating app, what are you going to do? Meet her IRL. Hopefully. Right? All you're going to do is it goes back to IRL. And I'm going to give you this too. Another reason I don't like dating apps. I never dealt with a catfish until this YouTube shit. And I specifically remember it, and it took me back to this is why I don't do this shit now. I never forget I did that edate with K Money. And after he hit me up like, yo, this girl that was watching it, and she was like, I like you, and she looked real pretty, and da 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 da. I'm like, even when I would get women on Instagram in real life, it would be in let's say in my city. So, not to say they can't be catfish because the girl's in your city, but like she might follow people I know exist. Like she might follow people. Y'all get what I'm saying? Like it's like some sort of credibility going on here because it's like, all right, I know somebody that follow her, or worst case scenario, it's just not that big of a thing in Philly. Like you're not going to deal with an all out catfish. Like I mean, like a fake person. You're gonna at most you're gonna deal with is she don't really look like she did on the gram, or she gained weight and then she ain't posted a picture in months. That's the worst you're gonna deal with in Philly. I would say is she kind of don't look as good as she do on the gram. I'm gonna tell you something. You know what the most rewarding thing is? D-Lin, I appreciate the 18 months. You wanna know what the most rewarding thing is?
18 baby.
You wanna know what the most rewarding thing is? When a chick better in person. It's like, oh my God, like, let's go. Like that's one of the most rewarding things. But in general, bro, in real life, I never have to worry about like the tone not being set. Like if I get her in person, she gonna know what my personality like. She's gonna know what it'll be like spending time with me already. She's kind of maybe somewhat more comfortable around me because I know how to break the ice. I know how to, I know how to make a person comfortable. I know how to allow them to become comfortable. I know how to use my personality to connect. I know how to flow a conversation. So I just benefit from those social skills where on a dating app, I just don't like how it starts. I don't like that. I know a lot of motherfuckers that fuck a lot of bitches from the apps, but if you ask me, I don't use them. If you ask me, yeah, you can use them to slay, get this woman, and there's no denying that. But I'm gonna be honest, bro, I want the IRL action. D-Lo too crazy with the big T1, man. I appreciate you, man. No need for dating apps if you got Game Or Rizz. No, that's not true. I know niggas that really cook bitches in real life and then use a dating app to take it to the next level. Like they just make the dating app makes it way easier. Like that's another thing. It don't apply to you if you already doing what you want to do IRL. Like if you already doing what you want to do IRL, a dating app just going to take you and give you a different pool of like you just going to be able to get them just sitting in the crib. Like you already knowing that how you handle shit when it come to linking them. So the dating app just feeding you. So on that level, it's not that much of an issue. But if you can't, I'm talking to niggas, if you cannot go approach a woman and go and introduce yourself, get a number, if you don't believe in none of that, all the dating app going to do is just make you feel weaker. That's all it's going to do. How do I apply pressure without being a tryhard when it comes to texting? What the fuck is it? Show us screenshots. Watch this. Kasha Kazakage. Send screenshots in. Then tell me you sent them of the specific example you're talking about. And we'll show you. We'll show you. What do you think? What do you think trying hard and applying pressure is? A lot of times what y'all think y'all doing is not actually what you're really doing. I guarantee you think he's trying hard to apply pressure. He's beating around the bush. He's talking about conversations that lead nowhere. She got bored. She's like, well, but this isn't going anywhere. We just going to stop texting. What's the point? When people say just be yourself, you got to create yourself. Exactly. You have to create yourself. Telling somebody to be yourself is the dumbest thing to say because they might not even know how to be themselves. They're not being themselves is actually being a person they were taught how to be. You have to reintroduce yourself to yourself. You might have yourself fucked up. You don't let your whole environment and all these people tell you what you can and cannot do, who you should believe you are. And you got to reintroduce, man, show them motherfuckers who you are. But you have to show yourself first. I had to really show myself who I was. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's like, it really breaks down all the false assumptions and all the false beliefs you have about yourself when you really prove to yourself who you are. And you're like, damn, actually, you know what? I'm that guy. I can do that shit. I'm showing myself in real time. But not only that, it started building this momentum. You're like, why the fuck would I think anything else? I'm telling you, my confidence was always like if anything, my social skills was not there, but my confidence was always there. And then it's like on a confidence level, no social skills involved. Just not even thinking about that. But like me, the ability for me to just do what I want to do and go for it if I want to. Keyword if I want to. That's the only thing that can stop me is me. Literally. That's the place where my confidence is. Just the only thing that can stop me is me. I don't feel nothing, no doubt, no sense of hesitance. It's either I'm going to do it or I'm not. And if I don't, then I'm not. Then I probably just don't care. But everything just feels in my control. Like if I want to do something or create something and I don't have it figured out, I'm going to study it. I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to learn about it. And then I'm going to strike at it. And then when I miss, I'm going to figure out why I missed. It's an ongoing process of evolution in anything I do. We can go to anything I do. Anything on any level. How do I get past that restraint? I feel like when it comes to interacting with new people, I want to get both more comfortable with talking to strangers and become known socially. Become known socially. Become known socially. Why? What is that about? You need to question that part of your question you just said. Because, okay, become comfortable to new people. You know how you do that? You talk to new people every day. Let me tell you something. I went to a crowded ass high school in a crowded ass area with a transportation center at the top corner of my high school. I was surrounded by thousands of motherfuckers every day. Over half the population being women. Then I went, especially, when my shit really shot like flyer on beyond that. I told y'all, I always tell you about this. In high school, I worked different jobs, right? And when you at jobs, you don't control who you're going to be around. So you have no excuse but to get used to an environment where you meet new people, you're learning new information, and you're dealing with that shit every day you work. If you don't work every day, but every day that you work. For hours at a time. I'm always talking to new customers. I'm always engaging new customers, always new employees all around. Like, this shit just became a instinct at a certain point. Like, and then all that did was sharpen my tools. There's no video I watched on this shit. It was just simply engaging and being willing to put myself out there. A lot of y'all had these issues because you don't practice. Y'all spend more time on the politics. Like, I'm going to just get that information. Instead of practice. That don't even make sense. How can you get better at basketball just only watching film? Imagine you had 3 hours of practice at basketball or any sport you can name a day, right? And you spent the 3 hours, 2.5 hours watching, and then the last 30 minutes actually playing. That wouldn't even make sense. That's what y'all do with games. That's what y'all do with social skills. Like, y'all spend all this time watching these videos, and in 15 minutes, you know what? I'm going to approach 1 woman a week, 2 women a week. You know what? I'm going to try to go to this new event to put myself and my business out there. You know what? I'm going to network No, that don't even make sense. How would you even get better? It's almost like practice is the basic formula to get better at anything. Exactly. That's when you start realize it has nothing to do with the circumstance or the situation. The method is proven. I could sit here and talk about a method of getting better at anything. And if don't reinvent the wheel. Exactly. You just got it. I use the same method I'm using right now to push myself in the algorithm of YouTube and grow the channel and grow the content that I'm using to get better at music. The same method I use to get my financial literacy up. It's the same method. Nothing changes at all. It shouldn't change. It should just be a broken shot you just keep spamming. And then it just reproduces results. And guess what? If I go to my motherfucking video thing right now, right? This motherfucker say, well, let me make sure the money not on there. What that bitch say? 1 out of 10. And listen, 1 out of 10. All greens, bro. All greens. And I think that was the first video. Was that the first one? On this channel, I think. That I uploaded since I just did a consultation call with a social media manager talking about, marketing and getting stuff to the next level, like all types of shit. I reinvested in myself. And listen, I'm trying to tell you, bro. It's to be shown and not told. So, practice a universal concept. Right. And it also has to do with this. And my guy Steve put me on this idea. It's the difference between practice and rehearsing. See, you practice something to get it right. And then once you get it right, you rehearse how you want it to look. So, reframing that, right? Let's say when I'm playing a guitar. It's one thing, like, if I'm learning the song, then I'm practicing it. But if I'm sitting here saying to myself, okay, I want to perform this on a stage. Okay, I want to play it with a certain poise. I want to play it with a certain grace or a certain finesse to it or a certain feel and a certain, like I have the vision. Then at that point, it's not practice. Like, I'm rehearsing it. I'm acting it out. I'm going through the motions. I'm in my head, like, how is this supposed to look? How do I want it to look? And how am I preparing myself for that moment? It has, that rehearsal part is like, now, you know what? I got it, and I'm tightening it up, and I'm bringing it out. I'm like, acting it out. Like, and it actually takes practice to another level. Now, when you put the practice into context, right, it's when you become a part of it. Exactly. The stuff you've been saying really do be working, but you got to do it. This lesbian girl asked me to